Money used to grow from trees. For real, I'm not even joking. Let me tell you how. But before I tell you how, I need you to understand why today money is so powerful that people would lie, kill, steal, and do anything just to make money. Back then, when we were in school, they told us that money started with trade by barter and it just evolved into what we have it today. But that's not entirely true because money did not evolve. Money was actually engineered by some people. The concept of money as a currency started as far back as ancient kingdom of Lydia, which is the present day Turkey. You see, back then there was a king called King Alyattes. King Alyattes actually issued some electrum coins. These coins were gotten from a mixture of gold and silver. He stamped those coins to ensure that they were not ordinary coins. His son, King Croesus, checked those coins to ensure that their weight and their purity was consistent. Soon afterwards, he made those coins the official currency of the kingdom. So anybody that needed to trade in the kingdom needed to have those currencies. And that was exactly the first time that anybody, any government, anywhere said, this is an official token. This is money. This is a medium of exchange. Use this. You see, this became a widely accepted practice, even to the point that in ancient Rome, they used to mint their coins close to the temple of Juno Moneta, who was then called the goddess of trust. As a result of that, they had to establish a relationship between money and trust. And that's also another reason why money is something you can trust today. Then everything seemed to be working fine until later in the early 1500s in Central Europe, when a group of people began to mint another kind of currency. This time around, they were large-sized silver coins called Thalers. A lot of countries fell in love with these Thalers, so they decided to copy it and make their own. Spain did the same. The English people did theirs, but they called theirs dollars. Soon afterwards, the US dollar was built from that same system. But then that wasn't the perfect solution because metal was scarce, heavy, and slow. Then suddenly, there was a shortage of copper in China to create more coins. So the China government decided to do something crazy. They made money from trees, like literally from the back of mulberry trees. They designed papers and issued these papers as promissory notes because the papers could not automatically become money. So they had to issue them as promissory notes, which stood as a standard of promise, saying that I'm going to owe you a certain amount of gold or silver at a later date. Hold this money just as an evidence of this transaction. And that was how paper money came into existence. The problem with this was that as soon as money became this easy to make, governments all over the world began to go on minting spree. And slowly, the value of these currencies, these papers began to drop. A brilliant idea struck a group of international traders. They said,
why don't we add some value to this paper money to give it some backing?
They decided to add what we call gold standardization, which means that the value of a currency is tied to the amount of gold the country has.